Hello and welcome to This Xbox Life, episode 361. For those about to rock, I am Brun, BJ Swig33. Along with me are the other two wonderful hosts of the show. You have Mark, Wingman709.
Wow, wow. Howdy.
And also Rob, also Rob, also known as Presar.
Hey, what's up, everybody? And I will not be doing what just happened.
Oh, come on. For those about to rock,
Yep.
we salute you.
Now you can't say it again, or else we'll get yanked off YouTube.
That's true. I only said
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
And it
We
was
don't
all
wanna pay-
off key and everything, so it doesn't matter. I really didn't say it.
Yeah.
The algorithms that track all that, they don't care.
Like, oh, that's just that Mark guy again doing his horrible singing. It doesn't count.
So. Yep.
But you can, I think, do happy birthday now
No.
without it
Oh, can you?
triggering anything, because I think those rights now something happened where they're now in the public domain finally after like a billion years.
That's why all those restaurants had to change how they sang to you.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeez.
They used to all just sing the happy birthday song, and then all of a sudden everybody's got their, hey, we're so glad to see you, cha-cha-cha. And it's like, what the heck is that? You're like, well, we can't sing the birthday song anymore. We
Don't want to get
sued.
sued.
Yeah. Got to pay the man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Quick announcement. You can listen to us live on twitch.tv/thisxboxlife every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is right now. So if you're watching us now, you can watch us now.
Well, it's
Now,
actually
now.
10, so.
Yeah, at 10, yeah. What is happening now is happening now. Good Spaceball reference there. But, all right.
God, glad.
So, for those about to rock is the name of the episode. You'll find out later why. There's a wonderful game that Wing is going to be playing on day one. Day one, Wing is going to be playing it.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Right.
We'll talk about this. We'll talk about it later.
There might be some smashing of guitars here on Tuesday.
He'll be playing this week, maybe sometime.
Oh, but before we do that, we have to talk about what we've been playing. So, Rob, you're not lying to me this time, are you?
No.
Okay, go
He
ahead.
is.
Yeah, my list is pretty short this week. The only thing I really got in was some Valiant Hearts. This is the freebie game for Xbox One that started on October 1st.
Mhm.
So that was a couple days ago. And this originally came out, about a year and a half ago, something like that.
No idea.
Not that.
Yeah, it's about a year old. The game's actually pretty darn good. It's entertaining, and I actually found it refreshing in a couple of ways. Number one, I'm really liking the art style of the game. It's just different. I'm not saying that it's great or revolutionary. It's just different. So it's nice from that aspect, and also that you actually kind of learn a little bit about World War One because the setting is in World War One, and it's something that I don't know. I haven't really found out much about lately, just because a lot of games are World War II or newer. It seems that everything that we know is basically at least learning through video games. How about that? That's interesting. But everything that we've basically learned has been really about World War II and after, because of the huge amount of games that basically feature World War II as their setting. But the game is actually pretty neat. And have you guys played this at all? Ever?
No, I have not.
Yes.
So, Mark, you've played it?
Yes, I want to say probably about halfway, maybe a little further than it a while back. And I want to go back and finish it. I got sidetracked, but
Yeah.
it's a weird game. When I remember when I first played it, my thoughts were like, yeah, I'm done with this. But I don't know, something about it kind of hooked me.
I like how they do the story. There's a narrator, and
It's just the gameplay is weird.
Yeah.
I'm not that a fan of the gameplay, because it's one of these things that's like on every level you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's like you got to
Because
figure it
it's
out.
different. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, and then some of them you spend time going back and forth. Oh, I need to go get this item, and I need to get that one, and it's just it's. I think there's a lot of time wasted with a lot of back and forth, but it's an interesting story. It is an interesting game, and I actually do want to go and finish it.
Doesn't it
I
seem
know I'm
like
just
it's
halfway through?
doesn't it seem like it's almost like a real story?
Yes,
I don't think it is, but the way that it's portrayed, it seems like actual events that
it
happened.
wouldn't surprise me if you find out it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
But
agree.
yeah, the premise of the game is it starts off just prior to World War One, and there's a group of people in France that there's a girl with a baby, and then this guy, I forgot his name, he gets deported back to Germany, and then the dad gets basically pulled into the military and sent to the front. So they're both actually on the front. So three main characters actually. There's a dog, the dad, the guy that goes back to Germany, and then an American guy.
Yeah, there's a Frenchman named Emile.
Yeah.
German son-in-law named Carl,
Yeah.
American soldier Freddie, and a Belgian nurse Anna.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dog is also actually a part of it. And then I think there's a couple other people you do see. But...
Yeah, and it's actually kind of interesting because there really isn't any conversation per se in the game, but there's kind of like mumbling. Like, did you guys ever watch Hillbilly Bears, like cartoon?
No.
From back in the day, no. So the guy just, oh, thank you. It's just.
No.
It's just like little like mumbling as they talk to each other.
The game is inspired by letters that were written during the Great War.
Okay.
So it's and then it says on the battlefield, let's see, it has 4 characters on the battlefield help a young German soldier find his love in the story about survival, sacrifice, and friendship. So yeah, it's like this Frenchman and his daughter, and then like she's dating this guy who actually is a German, and then this war breaks out, so he has to go back to Germany, and essentially he's almost like fighting against. You know, and he's trying not to, and it's a really interesting story. It's good. I really do like the story. It's just a very different gameplay.
Yeah, it is. And when Mark was saying that there's a lot of going back and forth, and there is some of that, but the levels actually are not very big. You can
they're not.
Yeah, you can probably tear through one level within 10 minutes.
It depends. Some of them, some are bigger. A challenge, and you're like, "How am I supposed to do this?" Yeah. You know, it's for someone dumb like me, it can take longer than 10 minutes. Yeah. An hour later, I don't know what to do.
It's one of the first levels having to deal with like running along the battlefield, like dodging artillery.
Yes.
Okay, I have played it then, but only like to that part, which I think is like the first or second level.
Yeah, definitely give it a try. Play it a little bit more. It's a good. I don't want to say time killer, but it's worth the amount of time that the game is, because I don't think it's a very long game.
And Metacritic gave it an 81 out of 100 on Xbox One.
Yeah, that's decent.
It's got 4 and 5 stars.
Yeah,
from across the industry.
There's one section of it that I thought was kind of interesting, actually kind of neat. Was you escape in this car, so it's like this old like Model T looking car, and you're controlling the car, and it's like driving towards you, and then it plays this, I don't know what it is, some kind of like classical music tune, and the bombs are like being dropped on you, and you're trying to avoid them. But like the bombs and the machine gun fire, it's all going to the music. So you're trying to like avoid the stuff. And I thought it was just cleverly done. So that's Valiant Hearts. Definitely worth a try, especially at the cost of free. If you're a gold member on Xbox One, it's definitely worth it. I mean, there's a lot of games that are not even worth being free, but this one is definitely worth it.
Local cycle.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm really, really surprised we haven't gotten that one yet. Because I remember we were talking about it. Yeah. I remember when we were talking about what was going to be like as part of the games, the gold for Xbox One. And I still remember, Mark, you had mentioned it as local cycle.
I thought it was
one of them.
One out the gate.
Yeah.
You know, what's interesting is something we don't even have on our list today is that developer. Was it Twisted Pixel? That's like their first bomb.
Oh
game.
yeah.
Like it's the first game they did. It was a bomb.
Yep.
And they're now actually separating themselves from Microsoft. So they're going back to being independent.
Yep.
So.
Well, maybe they got separated instead of separating themselves.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But anyways.
Because that was a movie, wasn't it? Wasn't it some kind of movie tie-in or something? A TV show?
No idea.
Yeah, that I'm aware of.
I thought it was. That's why there was all that live action stuff. No matter. No big deal. So, yeah, Valiant Hearts. That was it for me. Next.
All right. Mark and I have basically played the same thing this week, with one slight small little difference. And really, I only want to talk about one thing on here, and I think he'll probably want to talk about it as well. So I'm just going to say I played Destiny, the Rainbow Six demo, like a couple rounds. Still pretty fun with friends. Plague Inc., but I played it on iOS, and I need to play that on Xbox. But I want to definitely say I did the Need for Speed demo. Oh boy. I don't. Okay, so I had a little bit of fun playing it and like running from the cops and stuff. Drifting is not my favorite part of that game, I can tell you that. But the one thing I'm disappointed, they did this live action stuff, right? So, you know, it's the protagonist or whatever. It's like it's you. And, you know, you're supposed to be seeing it out of your eyes, so it's basically you're a camera and everybody's talking to the camera and they're talking to each other. But it is so bad. So bad, the acting and stuff in this. And I was actually thinking about this today, and I think it's so bad because everybody's acting like the way like teenagers act, like early 2000s, late 90s. To me, that's what it seemed like. But I was thinking today, if this was supposed to be like a reboot or something, is that the way they're supposed to be acting? As if it's back at that time frame? Or is this supposed to be like now and they're acting that way? Because I'll tell you what, it's so bad.
None of those people were even believable as human beings.
So cringe. I mean, I was cringing. It was goosebumps, you know, douche chill, whatever you want to call it. It was so bad, I had to stop playing it.
Yeah.
I
did the same thing. I had to quit. Like, first of all, the driving mechanics, I think, are the worst I have had in any game. Okay, I don't care that, and, you know, don't come at me that, well, it's a beta. It's not going to be perfect.
Beta.
It's a freaking driving game from a developer that's all they make. So in your freaking beta, if the car can't be controlled like it should be, I mean, that's a basic mechanic that they could take from every previous Need for Speed game. It comes out every year. That's not changed. It was horrible. The driving mechanic was horrible. And then on top of like what Brun said, the freaking horrible full motion video. I had flashbacks to like the 80s, you know, when Windows 95 first came out. And it's like everybody was doing that. And it was so bad. I actually had to quit it, man. I had to turn it off. I'm like, I can't even get through the video part. It was so bad. I'm like, I don't even care to try to give the game a chance. I drove two different cars. They both drove the same, like crap. I'm like, okay, well, maybe you got to improve your ride and it'll get better. And I couldn't get through the whole horrendous video that took on it was like I'm sitting here forever. And it wasn't like these quick 30-second snippets. It's like 10 minutes of watching these guys. Oh, it was unbelievable. Horrible. I already deleted it. Unbelievable.
You didn't feel like you're at a real party?
Oh my gosh, dude, it was so stupid. It was like these Fast and Furious wannabe characters. That's what it was. It was like, this is like the horrible version of Fast and Furious. And I like Fast and Furious movies. I
do
think they're
too.
all.
Yeah.
I think the actors and stuff are good, and I think the action's good. It's like these guys were trying to mimic that. That the whole time I felt like these guys are trying to be Fast and Furious, and they suck.
Mhm.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was.
It
Oh,
was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, was it because I was tired and it was late at night? And then I mentioned it to Mark, and he's like, and I was like, oh, that acting's horrible. He's like, yeah, it's so bad I had to turn it off. And I was like, me too. I was like, so it's, I mean, and maybe, and that's the thing, Mark, you said it too. It's like, I don't want to say anything bad about the game, because I actually had a little bit of fun driving the game. I didn't go into it too much because the acting was so, like, I couldn't play the game because of the acting stuff. It was horrible. So unfortunately, that game is probably going to suffer due to that as far as reviews and stuff. But for the people that can, like, get through it or choke through it, choke it down, they may actually have a good game, because I can't believe that all the other Need for Speed games that I've had a blast with, that drive fantastic, they're great. Then they come in this one just be like horrible driving. But I don't know. I can't really tell you for sure, because I couldn't get through it. It was so bad. So hopefully not everybody was really hyped up for that game this year, or whenever it's supposed to come out.
Well, I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately missed out on this beta. I didn't get anything. Boo-hoo. But
it's bad.
Would it be fair to say that the real problem of this game, and seemingly a lot of other driving games, is that basically it's not Forza?
No.
No. Here's what they need to do. They need to delay it for 6 months. They need to rip out all the acting stuff, keep the dialogue, and just make it the cell phone thing that they did any other time they were doing with Need for Speed games. You know what I mean? It was like, pick up the cell phone, and it was the guy saying, hey, come over to the garage and do this and this and this and this. So you're in the car. Like, don't leave the car. Stay in the car. Let me drive the car around. Be a little more like Forza Horizon type of thing, or the older Need for Speed games. Like, what was the one before that on Xbox One? Hot
Pursuit.
Is that what it was?
The last one?
Yeah.
Rivals.
Yeah, Hot Pursuit I think was before that.
I like Rivals, and everybody was like, oh, it's the same thing. Well, unfortunately, that's kind of what I was looking for in this one. It's the same thing. But I mean, if they would go back to just like, I don't care if it's just a cartoonish picture of a person, of a female, if a female's talking to male, if a male's talking, I don't know, but just cut all that stuff out, because that was the worst. And I'd love to see people that really enjoyed the acting stuff, but man.
The thing is, too, they're trying to, like, I know they were resetting and they wanted to put a story into it, but it's like, you go back to Need for Speed 1, 2, 3, 4. They didn't have stories, really. It was just about the gameplay. Even, Underground, Most Wanted, Pro Street. It was different types of driving and stuff. I mean, they didn't, it's like, why am I looking at 15 minutes of real, like a movie that's really horrible to begin with? It's taking me out of the game. It's making me want to shoot myself. I mean, it's oh my gosh, they're going the wrong way, in my opinion. Just make it about the driving and, give people what they want. My understanding is Rivals did very well. I didn't like it, but for different reasons. But I'm not the audience they're going to. I'm not a fan of Need for Speed. I never really have been, except way back in the day. I loved it. But, I think that we're going to reboot and we're going to go do the other route. Well, why? I mean, you've been a very successful franchise, and it's not like you're completely changing it from what it has been and trying to make a story out of it. I don't know. That's not what I would want, but maybe other people do. Maybe some people will really love it, but I couldn't get through, man. I had to quit because of the acting and the stupid story.
Yeah. I mean, Need for Speed filled that spot. Like, okay, we got Horizon and 1 and 2. I mean, that game there kind of fills in that spot where Need for Speed is. You know, Burnout kind of went away because those guys are the ones working on Need for Speed. So it gives you that, you know, that the arcadey driving. So I think that's where Need for Speed came in. I think it did it really well. I mean, I enjoyed playing those games, and they were all kind of the same thing. It was like, hey, you're coming into this city. You need to be, you know, roll the streets. You need to work your way up and be the best, you know, driver, this and that type of scenario. They're all kind of the same to me, but, I mean, that's what I enjoyed about it. Like, make this cool, you know, go find these cool street-type cars, not like, you know, a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or anything like that. I was like, oh, go get a Honda Civic and deck it out like a Fast and Furious type thing, because like I like those types of cars. You know, that's what I liked about those games. But I just couldn't get through it. It was really bad. Like, if they want to give it when they give it away, is EA make this? EA makes Need for Speed.
Yeah, they're the publisher.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
When it hits the vault, then I'll play it. But
exactly.
I'm not gonna buy it.
I wouldn't even play it in the vault, dude. Even when it hits the vault, I will not download this at all.
Rivals is in the vault, so.
I know, and I don't even play that one. But this was so bad, in my opinion. The video alone would ensure even free I wouldn't download this.
Right. So, but yeah, played both betas. Now I'm waiting for the next open beta, which is gonna be Star Wars. That starts up the 8th. Does that start the 8th?
Believe you're right.
8th or 11th.
So Wednesday.
Yeah.
No,
so
Thursday.
Yeah. But
gee, I'll be playing that before something else.
Yep. But I already got that pre-ordered. So Marcus even was like, "I'm surprised you pre-ordered it without getting." I was like, "I knew I was going to get that game." So
plus, watch. He's gonna play the beta this week and go, "This game sucks."
No. So, and the other thing is since I'm a Vault person, I got 10% off. I get to play it a week before everybody else because I have the EA access. And since I pre-ordered it and stuff like that, I get all the DLC like a week early as well. So the first DLC or whatever, I think it's free. But yeah, that's what I played. Destiny, just normal stuff. I got 2 40-level characters working on my 3rd. Siege demo, Need for Speed demo, and Plague. So, Mark, do you have anything to add to yours? I don't.
Well, I know you're trying to keep me from talking about what I played this week.
No.
Appreciate that, Bron. A nice little ploy. However, I do want to talk about Rainbow Six for a few minutes.
Yep.
Because I don't know what to do, guys. I'm really torn. Okay, we talked about this last week. I know I talked about what I didn't like, but here's the deal. I've played a lot of it this week. I actually unlocked all the attackers. I was playing again today for a bit. I've had a lot of fun with the terrorist hunt mode. Okay, there's still issues. I know it's a beta. Hopefully they'll fix a lot of them. I hate the cover system. I wish they would have gone to the Rainbow Six Vegas cover system. I think that's the best cover system in any game, where you just hit A to get in cover, and then you use the left trigger, you know, and you can just lean out. I thought that was just like the best way they did that. I think the one now, it's really kind of corny. It's not. I've tried it. It's like you hold the left trigger and then you gotta move. You click the right stick in and move or something, and then you'll lean out or left. It's just not. I don't know. It's not fluid. It's like I wish they would just have done the cover system from the original. So there's really not a cover system here. You can't walk up and plant yourself. And it's like, it's horrible, I think, in this type of game where you want to be behind cover and you're trying to shoot. I don't know why they removed that. So I wish that was in play. Some of the things that have gone on that we talked about last week are still there, but when I'm playing with 4 other friends, it is fun, even when we lose. We've had some hilarious moments. Today, we had a good one today. So it was down to just Artemis and myself. I think it was Artemis 74. Sorry, buddy, if I got your number wrong. I didn't realize that he was like in one room, and I was walking a different way, and we're scouting out. I turned a corner, and I looked down a hallway to clear it. It was cleared. I turn around. well, in that time frame, he never said that. Hey, I'm behind you, or never said anything. And I turn around and there's a guy standing there. I unleashed on him, so I had to pick him back up. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. And we're just laughing. I'm like, you gotta tell me you're behind me. If I'm gonna turn around and see you, I'm gonna shoot. that's my reaction, you know. Like today, I was hanging from a rappel line, and then all of a sudden, just bloop, I just dropped, just fell to the ground.
Okay.
It seems to be some kind of glitch or error, because other people have said they've had the same thing happen.
Did somebody shoot the line? Because I know in Vegas you used to be able to shoot the line or whatever, didn't you? And they would fall.
Well, maybe. I have no idea. I have no idea if that's what happened. The kill cams are kind of garbage a lot of times. But the thing is, here's the dilemma. I don't want to go over all the good and the bad. The dilemma I have, it's the last game, essentially, to come out this year. It's going to follow Call of Duty, Halo 5, Tomb Raider, Fallout 4. I don't know if I said Call of Duty.
Yeah. Halo, Star Wars.
Halo. Oh yeah, Star Wars. So, what? There's 5.
Tomb Raider.
Yes. Yeah. So there's at least 5 major games that are coming out right before that game.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have people playing already divided. This game, I don't like the siege mode, which is their main purpose of this game, the 5v5 multiplayer. I don't like it. I don't enjoy multiplayer. I'm not a competitive gamer. I'm a cooperative gamer. I love cooperative gaming, and I love single-player gaming. So this is going to be a $60 title, we assume.
Yeah, that's yeah, okay.
Do I want to pay $60 for one game mode that's only fun if I have 4 other friends that I can pull away from all those other games? First of all, to get them to buy this one after they've plunked all their money down for all the others. Am I going to be the only one with this game? Maybe one other guy on my friends list might pick it up. But I may not even have 5 people pick it up because they've spent all their money on those other 5 games. Then if they do, are we going to be able to all be on at the same time, pull ourselves from the other games to play this? That's the problem. I love Terrorist Hunt. I've been playing a lot of it. I'm sad that today it's over. It ends tonight. I don't know if it might actually be over right now. I don't know when they cut the servers off, but today is the last day. And I'm bummed. I'm like, I really want them to extend it again, even though they've already extended it a few days. It's like I want more of it. I'm loving it, but are there going to be the people there, or is it going to be another Evolve where there wasn't a community and it was no good when you played with randoms because the randoms didn't talk?
Right.
And when I've been in random games, people are just running and gunning like it's Call of Duty. So I don't know what to do about this game. So,
I think after, like I said, I think they really kind of put himself in a bad spot when they went to December. Because to me, that made it to where I was going to be like, okay, you know, I'm already going to have Star Wars. That's going to have a huge multiplayer because that's all it is. No single-player story in that. You know, Halo, you know, for anybody that wants to go out and play that. You still got Destiny hanging around. You know, so to me it was just like, you know, if they're coming out at $60, no, I think I'll wait. You know, I'll wait for it a little bit. Because I'm still wondering if it's going to get delayed again. But I'm like you, I enjoyed the Terrorist Hunt. But I would like to see, like, how much are they going to be putting into the game? Like, we still don't know that. We still don't know, like, the amount of DLC, the more stuff they're going to be adding to the game as it goes on. So, like, to me, that makes me think, like, I would hold off.
Yeah, I almost wish this game I wish this game would get delayed till, like, February.
Yeah, same here.
To be honest. And it's like, if there's nothing, you know, well, depending on the release calendar, but you're going to have enough time for all these big hitters, AAA titles. And Rainbow Six is a AAA title.
Yeah.
But you had such a long delay from your last game. and you to me you've kind of lost your clout. And now the fact that there's no single player campaign, it's just this multiplayer, which is what their main focus is. So I don't even know if, Terrace Hunt, they're talking about, oh, we're going to release 10 maps. Yeah, but that we know is for siege mode. What is it? Are those 10 maps playable in Terrorist Hunt? Are you going to give us more Terrorist Hunt maps and stuff? There may not be that.
Right.
So again, it's just like I really want to buy the game, even just for Terrorist Hunt, but I'm afraid I'm going to waste my money and not find people to play it.
The other thing is, too, pushing it this spring, they're going to bump into the other Tom Clancy game. So they're going to bump into Division, because that's what, March?
Yeah, but I don't know. That could get pushed again.
Yeah, they really messed up going to December. Like, it was supposed to come out this Tuesday. It was supposed to come out this week.
Yeah.
And you would have had at least a good solid couple weeks playing it up until, Halo came out. But so a lot of people aren't Halo a lot of people are Halo multiplayer people, but I'm not. But then you had like another 2 weeks, and then Star Wars was out. And that was kind of like the thing, like, oh, you better get all your Siege play and stuff in before Star Wars came out. I don't know. It's an interesting. I don't know, Mark. If it would come in at $40 instead of $60, then I would do it. But $60 for that, I don't know.
I can't see it not being. I'm pretty sure it's a full price game. So, yeah. But because I think they released their big super duper version for like $90, and nobody even knows what all the extra money's for. We had people in our group talking about it last week. So,
but they had server and matchmaking issues and all stuff like that. Hopefully that's, I imagine that's all getting corrected. That's what the beta's for. And that's probably what the delay is. It's what, that's why maybe they delayed, which was smart. That was a smart thing for them to do.
There are a lot of things they need to fix in that game.
Yeah.
I actually need to go out and I need to post an update, give them my laundry list of stuff. But again, it's a beta. They probably will have all these things fixed that I have on the list. But I do got to say real quick, I got a shout out to Carbide. And I already forgot Carbide. Sorry, I know he's listening. I forgot what I was gonna throw you under the bus for today, but it was funny. We were playing, and he was like the whole time complaining, like, as soon as we got in, oh, we got to play realistic. We got to play realistic. Well, Artemis had set up a hard Terrorist Hunt, so we start playing. He dies like in the first 30 seconds,
Carbide.
And has to watch the rest of the game.
That's not even
and
realistic.
Then at the end, he's complaining. Oh, let's go realistic. Let's go realistic. I'm like, dude, you died 30 seconds into hard.
Oh, that's funny.
You're gonna die in realistic as soon as you spawn in.
Yeah, first 5 seconds.
Yeah. Welcome to This Xbox Life. We throw our listeners under the bus.
Well, he jumped in here and said, "Did I miss the rant with me laughing out loud?"
Oh,
so
no. Yeah, he
said it, and he told me if I mentioned him, he'd actually listen.
Yeah.
So
we shouldn't have
since
to
he
bribe
actually
you.
came on, I figured I'd throw him under the bus. But
That's
no,
funny.
he's great. I tease him. He's from Canada. We were joking around too about because he was saying, "Oh, I can't invite everybody to this through the party." And I think Artemis said, "Well, that's because it's it's at your Canadian internet. Well, that works for the rest of us, but not him."
Darn Canadians, I tell you.
So, but we just had a blast playing. It's fun, even when you lose. If you're with your friends and you can have a good time. I'm not a fan of the realistic because I think it's they make it. I get that it should be harder and the guys should. You should die quicker. But the thing what they do with realistic mode is they'll spawn guys outside and come in behind you, which to me doesn't make any sense. And I do not recall that ever happening on realistic on the Vegas versions, 1 or 2 when we played Terrorist Hunt. It just got harder. And they may have had more guys, but I don't remember them ever coming from outside into the building.
The only thing that I remember is like the one warehouse we'd always play, and we'd be down that side alley, posting up on that door, and they'd be zip lining down into the room. The only thing I know is they would go out those front doors and come around and start coming down the alley. But they would leave the house, or they'd be leaving the building and coming around.
I did see today. I did watch a guy actually jump out a window.
Right.
I did watch a terrorist jump out a window. So, and then I'm like, oh crud. So I turned around, or I was reloading my shotgun, and about that time, all of a sudden, I'm getting shot at, and I turn around, and he went around the building and came up the steps behind me. So I blasted him. But I've seen other guys like way out.
Yeah, me too.
And that's the thing. I'm like, okay, why would you be in the house, walk out and go way out to almost where we spawn in, and then be shooting at the house from there? And so I don't know if they're spawning outside. Maybe they're all in the building preset and they are walking out, but some of them have been, the way they've come into the game for where we see them just seems like they're spawning outside. And I hope that's not the case, but it makes it really difficult. And to me, realistic should have, you know, they put a time limit on it too. It's like, well, it's already harder.
Right.
At realistic mode, I want to slow the game down because it's going to be harder. If I get hit maybe once or twice, I'm dead. You know, I get that, and that's the way it should be. But don't put a 15-minute time limit on the game, you know, and then say, you know, and you got, so then you feel like you got to rush through it. That's what I don't like. It's just, you know, I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe the time limit's good because if you're all multiplayer and then you got one guy just sitting there, you know, not doing anything, then the game will eventually time out. But if that's the case, I'd probably leave anyways. But
yeah, I think to me it's more of like, hey, my group of 5 on hard can clear out the entire building, not take a hit, not take a kill, and we can clear every building on every map and everything like that, where you get to that point and then you're like, okay, let's you know, you have your strategy to beat it, and then from there you're like, okay, let's go into realistic and make it harder on ourselves, and we know we'll get through that 15-minute time because we're not just running and gunning. Because even in hard mode, we've still played where everybody just scatters. Like, everybody's jumping in through different windows and stuff. Like, you can't do that in realistic. So
okay, so Carbide reminded me. So here's the 2 things I got to talk about. Number 1, he got a little upset. I think it was the first match. He's like, all right, guys, I'm going to send in my drone. So he's at the spawn point, sends his drone in, right? Well, we all just run up. No one stayed behind to cover him. So as we breach, I mean, he's marking guys, so we breach. And as soon as you breach, that alerts them, and they all come running out, right? So somebody either came out of the building or spawned over by him, whatever. All of a sudden, he gets killed at the spawn point while he's trying to help his team out. So, so that was kind of a funny moment how we all left the man behind. But what really was hilarious, we were watching. Okay, so I was watching. We were dead. Everyone was dead except Carbide, and he was the last guy. He had like 3 guys left to take out, and so he's like on the top floor. We're in the mansion, and he takes out. There's all of a sudden there's all 3 of them right there. So he's like, you know, and he takes out 2. He's down to 1, but instead of like getting in cover or reloading or shooting the guy, he runs to the edge, jumps with the intention of repelling, and it doesn't work. So he jumps off the roof or off the 3rd floor and lands and kills himself, and we lose the match when there was only 1 guy left. All because he jumped off the building to his death.
Leroy Jenkins? No, I'm just kidding. Running in.
But we just laugh. He meant to like jump and repel, but you can't. You're gonna have to stand there and find the point where, oh, here I can repel and then go over.
That is
funny. But it was hysterical, and we were just laughing, and I'm just like, you know, I can't even remember what I said to him, but it was pretty darn funny. We were just having a great time. But
yeah, because repelling was a lot easier in Vegas. You just run up to the edge, and right when you jumped, jumped over it, and it repelled you down.
Here you've got to like walk up and like stop, and like even if you want to go to the roof, you can't look at the roof and get that repelling thing and throw it up there. You got to get right up to the building, look straight up, and then it gives you the button.
Yep.
It's weird. And then, yeah, when you're trying to repel down, it's like you got to kind of move around till you find that magic spot where, oh, I can repel to this little spot. But so anyways, that's enough talk on Rainbow Six. I'm going to ask, you know, the community, write in, send us voicemails. Tell us what you guys think about that. Are you planning to buy Rainbow Six? Have you know, I didn't plan to. I mean, I love TerraSun. I didn't plan to pay $60 for it. I'm having so much fun that I want to, but I only want to play with friends. So we're curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are. So just let us know. Shoot us an email or something.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So next we're going to hit some news/topics. And before we do that, you can go to patreon.com/thisxboxlife and become a patron. Or you can leave us a tip because you love us and we're special.
Hey, you skipped it. Go back to number 1. Go to 1A. Run.
Okay. Hold on. I will.
Okay.
Or you can leave us a tip at twitchalerts.com/donate/thisxboxlife. And we actually got a new patron. I think that's what you were saying when I skipped it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see that get added. So John Matthews is our new patron. So thank you very, 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 very much. We appreciate it. That is fantastic. So, all right. And is he to the level where he gets to come on the show?
No, just the shout out.
Oh, just shout out. Okay. All right, cool. Well,
Even if you want to be a patron and you don't reach that level of a shout out, we still appreciate you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Grateful for and anybody that supports us. We just, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you enough. Cool. And round table.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so all right, everybody, let me start this because I'm gonna put my headset down and take a nap for a while. Yeah,
as get my voice ready to go.
Remember, Rob, you and I, we've done some shows over the past month, just the two of us, because Mark was super busy, and rightfully so. Nothing wrong with
various
that.
Reasons.
Yeah, various reasons.
He covers E3 a lot.
Yes. So, but do you remember what most people were saying they missed when Mark wasn't there? They put it in our chat and everything. Do you remember?
Him doing air guitar?
Air guitar, yes, that was it.
No, his whistling.
Yes. Professional whistler. I believe a lot of people were posting on there that they want Mark to come back and they want some more rants. That's what they said. So everybody, today is your lucky day.
You're building up way too much.
I know.
It's really not much of a rant.
I know, but people like your rants. It's a rant, so people have to know that you are answering their call. So
we need to come up with one of those what do they call them? Audio bumpers or something?
The stinger?
The stinger.
Yeah.
No, the stinger?
Yeah.
It's those things you play right before.
Yeah,
it's a stinger.
Yep.
Okay, stinger. So we need a rant stinger.
Yeah. Wingman's rant of the day. There you go.
There you go.
But all right, Mark. What do you got? What happened? What has made you so happy?
Dude, I've been so excited for this week. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this moment for a couple of years. I've been waiting for this Tuesday. This Tuesday has been the day I have been waiting for.
Oh, okay.
And that's because Rock Band 4 is coming to Xbox One.
Yep.
This game is a game that my wife loves to play with me. She loves playing the game. She's been excited about it. I even went out this weekend and bought her another guitar because the strum bar broke on hers. So I'm like, I got to get geared up, right? So I got my game already installed. I got my Legacy guitar adapter ordered from Amazon. I got my new guitar for the wife. I'm ready to go, dude. I was like, man, Tuesday might be a little under the weather, right? Like, obviously that can't happen this week, but Tuesday night, dude, I was ready to rock. My wife and I, we had plans. We had date night, right? Rock Band date night, Tuesday. Then I get an email the other day from my wonderful friends at Amazon. We are proud to announce that we have your expected ship date of your item to be Thursday, October 8th.
Oh.
2 days later. I can't play the game without
the ship
stupid adapter.
Yeah.
The adapter is required because I didn't buy the $150 another guitar because I got a billion guitars already. Most of them were broke, obviously, so I had to buy another one. And they don't, my original Rock Band wired guitar is not compatible for some dumb reason. So the game's going to come out Tuesday, and I have to just sit there and stare at it, going, play me, please, you want to play me. And I can't until my adapter decides to show up. Now, why this did not, and I'm a Prime member, why this would not have release day shipping is beyond me. I mean, just, it blows my mind. I didn't even think about why wouldn't it? Because it's required to play the game.
Right.
You know, unless you buy the kits. So, yeah, it's only 2 days, but it really frustrates me that the biggest gaming event for me and my wife is put on hold. And yeah, I'll survive. It's another 2 days. It's probably better because I'm so busy next Tuesday and Wednesday anyways. That Thursday's going to be great. I actually don't think I have anything for Thursday night, but but that's not the point.
Well, Rob's got a good point. Is it your ship date is the 8th or your receive date?
The receive date.
Okay.
Oh,
Is it?
it better be the freaking date.
You might want to check that.
So I got that same email. I could have sworn it said it was
Dude,
going to ship.
if I'm, oh my gosh, you're gonna get a real rant. I'm gonna go look this thing up because if they say ship, oh boy,
We're
look out!
throwing kerosene on the fire.
Oh
here.
my gosh, you will see me. I'll have to get off because, dude, I can't keep it family friendly if that's the case. No, I'm looking at it now. Estimated arrival date October 8th, which is Thursday. So. Yeah, we hope to see you again soon. Yeah, whatever, people. Digital, baby.
So,
but I mean, I guess that some people say, well, that's what you get for going digital, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's not a big deal. It's 2 days. I've waited years. It's just,
hey, Mark,
I was all excited, man. And when I got this, it was just like someone just shot my puppy. You know, I'm like, what?
You know, hey, I just want to mention it's really not just 2 days. It's almost 3,000 minutes.
Oh my gosh. You're just trying to make it worse.
I want full on rant, baby.
We're like, what was that ship date? He's like, oh, it better not,
dude.
be.
You would have seen me go freaking A-bomb, man. I'd have freaking got nuclear.
We'd
if
see him on
I'd
mute
open that
and just
back
see
up
his face turn red. I'm like, it must have been ship date. So.
You would have just heard Rob's audio edit up for about 15 minutes.
Oh man.
We're
just what is that? They go radio edit.
Yeah, radio edit.
It's radio edit, just nonstop.
So that's it. That's the end of my rant. It wasn't huge.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not that big of a deal. It's just it was saddening.
Yeah, the timing sucks.
And it was like, again, it was just like it's something that I was more excited because my wife was excited about it.
Right.
You know, so I even went out and got her a guitar and she's all ready to go. And it's the same one that she had. So, you know, that'll make her happy. It's, you know, it's not different. You know, she doesn't have to learn to use like a Rock Band guitar because she likes the Guitar Hero guitars. So, you know, I did everything I could to get set up and then I got delayed. So,
yeah.
So while all the rest of you are playing Rock Band 4 on Tuesday, I won't be.
Hey, you know, this is just kind of an off-the-wall question here because I really don't know if this is possible or not, but does it support any kind of wired instruments?
You know, that's the weird thing. It supports... so, yes, it does support the wired mics and the wired drum kits, but it does not support the wired guitar, which
the
original Rock Band wired guitar makes no sense. But it does support the original drums and the singing. But with me lately in that cough, there's no way I can be singing. I'll be coughing every 15 seconds. But so yeah, I suppose I could break the drums out. Problem is they're all packed up because we're moving. So I only have my one guitar left out. All the other stuff's packed up in a box. So I'd have to go unseal a bunch of boxes to find the microphone and.
You may as well start now because you'll be doing it later.
I might.
A big mess.
Yeah, I might just have to go pull out unbox my Rock Band 3 game so I can play that on Tuesday with the wife. Yeah. Come on, man, we'll go play Rock Band 3. on a 360.
Alright.
So
Well, that that is our conclusion of Wings Rant, brought to you by Amazon. When you're excited to play a game on Tuesday, we'll get you your stuff on Thursday.
no, we shouldn't be saying that because we are an affiliate.
Oh, I know,
And
I
again,
know.
and it's so let me clarify, okay? Because I kind of didn't want to rant because I really like Amazon. I
Oh, yeah.
really do. I bought all my video games from them before, and I've never had a shipping problem from them. I've always got my stuff on release day, and so it's just, and I kind of can understand because it's not the game. I get it, but in big corporate world, they're not paying attention. They don't care. They just sold me a little piece of hardware. They didn't get my money for the game because I bought it digitally. Microsoft got my money. So, I can understand that. And who knows? Maybe it'll still show up. Maybe
That's
it's
true.
just because your release day shipping from them, you always have to say like 2-day shipping. But when you're a Prime member and for video games, you always end up with release day shipping.
Right.
But I've never gotten an email saying, here's your estimated ship date where it was later. Usually it
Right.
was going to be the day of release. So, but you never know. But it was more of, wow, that's disappointing. I should have expected it. I never really just thought of it. I just like, oh, it's a new release. You're going to get it release day, but it's just a piece of hardware.
Yeah.
I should have known from the beginning. So it really is my fault to get my expectations and hopes up. But and had I known, and here's the other thing, if Rock Band would include that adapter in the guitar kit, I actually would have bought the physical copy and bought a new Rock Band guitar because then I wouldn't had to go out and find a used one, which may or may not work. I still don't know. But they don't give you that adapter in these expensive kits. You have to
Right.
buy it with the retail disc or by itself.
Yeah, I would say if you get the email that it's been shipped either today or tomorrow, you'll probably get it still on Tuesday. So
Yeah. So, but again, it's not really an Amazon thing. So my rant is more of disappointment that I'm being delayed from my biggest game
Right.
release of the year. This was the big one I was excited for. So I just gotta wait 2 more days. So I'm gonna be all over the sucker. Whenever that thing comes in, everything else stops. It's like, what? You got to go to Taekwondo, kids? Sorry, Dad's
Yeah.
rocking out. What? You got to go to Scouts? Too bad, Dad's rocking out.
Dad, we're hungry.
You can go. What? You want to eat dinner? Too bad. You can wait till your mother gets home.
that's
Yeah.
rocking out.
Or Mom will give you breakfast in the morning. Go to bed. Dad, it's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Go to bed. So, all right.
All right. Cool. Next thing we got here is, or actually, I guess the first thing past the rant, is Microsoft made a purchase of the Havok engine. So, Havok is known for the physics in video games. Some of the games, like most recent that use Havok, you'll see it in Destiny. You see it in Mortal Kombat X or 10, Dark Souls 2, Watch Dogs. I mean, everybody should have be familiar with their splash screen when you see it, like when a game boots up and stuff like that. But so Microsoft
Are they a competitor to that physics engine? Is that similar?
I thought that
Or is that
Physics is a physics based
right.
engine. Yes,
Is that same
I think that's.
or
I think
older?
that's what this is, right?
I thought that was Havok's engine.
Okay.
Well, no, there is PhysX
Okay.
is by
Right.
NVIDIA. I believe NVIDIA owns PhysX.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong.
I hope no video is on this page that I'm getting ready to open up. Please no video, please no video. Okay, good. Products. Havok.
Yeah,
Physics.
developer NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Yeah, PhysX G4.
Oh yeah. So it looks like Assassin's Creed uses it. I'm trying to think of the other games and stuff that use it because
Lots of
there's
people.
yeah, there's just a ton. I mean, I know I see it all the time, but so Microsoft's purchased it. Now you might be wondering like, oh no, what about all these games? So there was an update because I believe they asked the question if Microsoft never mentioned if they're going to continue to provide the for third party games and how much and how much it costs, but they didn't talk about that, how much they did. But the update is Microsoft has provided official comment to IGN, because IGN was asking about it. Havok will not be limited to Microsoft exclusively. We will continue to license Havok's technology to broad AAA games industry. This also means that we will continue to license Havok technology to run across various games, game consoles, including Sony and Nintendo. And then they're not going to discuss how much they purchased it for. So they did purchase it. They're not going to limit it or anything like that. It's probably just an easier way that they know, like, hey, this is going to be in all of our games, so instead of licensing it, why not just buy it and then, have other people license it and pay us. So, in the long run, they're probably going to get their money back, and plus they don't have to license it now for any of their games. So, but smart purchase. So, in my mind, I guess it's one that I didn't see. I know a lot of people were talking about them grabbing up AMD. Which they haven't, but so what do you guys think? Do you think it's good for them? I mean, what big plans do you think they have for it?
Well, we don't know what the full on strategy of this is, but I could see the various hooks that they have with this. Like, for example, HoloLens, who I could see them having some kind of physics-based video elements that you kind of interact with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you're wearing a HoloLens. I mean, I'm sure this is definitely forward-looking on their behalf. And it's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting.
Right. Yeah, and Brian, this Havok is used by Activision, EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo, Sony, and many others. There's more than 600 games out there using it, including Halo's, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Destiny,
right,
Dark Souls, and the Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
The Microsoft here says this is on the Havok page. They're saying Microsoft's acquisition of Havok continues our tradition of empowering developers by providing them with tools to unleash their creativity to the world. We will continue to innovate the benefit of development partners. Part of this innovation will include building the most complete cloud service, which we've just started to show through games like Crackdown 3. So, and they're talking about how this will be a fantastic addition to Microsoft's existing tools and platform components for developers, including DirectX 12, Visual Studio, and Azure, or whatever. I don't know how to say
Azure.
that.
I say Azure.
Azure.
So.
Azure sounds good.
Yeah.
So, what's interesting on me is, because my company I work for actually did own this company. I was surprised to see them sell it off. So, but I think it's for what it's used. It's probably a good thing to go to a company that is investing heavily in games and stuff like that. So
yeah, like I said, like if they're licensing it for a lot of stuff, like, I mean, here they are, they're just paying all this money for Havok as it is, for each one of their games. Or you mentioned Crackdown and stuff like that. It's like, that's a huge upcoming game. It's just like, hey, instead of paying this millions of dollars,
free
to license this, why not just buy it, and then people can pay us and we get it for free. So but yeah, I imagine
and they could do more with it too, to again make, if they own it, they can push for those tools to be working in the cloud. I think it's good. I think it'll be like what we saw when you talked about the Crackdown 3 demo, where it was spinning stuff up, and there was a lot of physics in that game.
Yeah.
So I think you will see more development in that. I think might be a good idea.
Yeah, cool. All right. Next thing might involve you two more than it will me. So I'll let you guys discuss. But this happens to be with the Tomb Raider. I guess they kind of spotted or noticed a season pass for Tomb Raider out there in the wild, but
Rob, did you buy a season pass to Tomb Raider last time?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Do you remember what the season pass contained?
Absolutely not.
So Tomb Raider was like a great single player campaign. I mean,
Wonderful.
that's what it was, right? I mean,
Right.
the multiplayer essentially was tacked on to check a box that yes, we have multiplayer.
Right.
This game didn't need it. You know, I don't think anyone really cared that it had multiplayer. The season pass, or I should say, all the DLC for Tomb Raider, was all multiplayer.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I remember
Yeah.
being so frustrated because I'm like, who gives a crap? I'm like, this is not what this game is. This game was a single player, amazing storyline. Dude, give me more single player content. And there was none of it.
At least Tombs, where you have to figure out the like puzzles and stuff like that to get through them.
Yeah, they
Right?
could have done a lot, you
Yeah.
know, to add some content to this. It's just, but they didn't. So now, supposedly, a season pass for Rise of the Tomb Raider has surfaced on Amazon, my favorite place, for $30 ahead of the official announcement. No, I mean it. I do like Amazon. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But so it says the listing doesn't offer specific details about the content. It does seem some single player story content will be contained, judging by the wording. Quote, the season pass for Rise of the Tomb Raider includes a range of content that will extend your single player campaign and also allow you to compete with friends. End quote. So I think the competing with your friends is probably leaderboard stuff. But so I was excited when I saw this originally. I was like, yay, finally single player DLC. However, if they're going to extend the single player campaign by adding leaderboards or things that you can do to, then that's not what it,
Right.
that's no big deal. If they're going to extend it by having some kind of additional, kind of like Sunset Overdrive did, you know, they had, oh, hey, here's a new area you can go and you can go play, you know. I know it's harder probably to do for Tomb Raider because there is a storyline, but I don't think it would even matter. I don't think people would care if you gave them another area to go in and make another small story and like she's raiding tombs and doing more things and trying, you know, in a smaller chunk of something. That's just give us more single player content, extend the game somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or even there was I think kind of a neat way to split the game off, and this wasn't really DLC, but it just gives you an idea of something that they could do. Is in Wolfenstein, there was actually a point in the game where the storyline kind of forks a little bit, where you make a choice and then you can play one way or you can play another. And they could do something similar with this. I mean, reuse a lot of even the same areas, but you know, make the story a little bit different. I think that'll be a lot easier than having to even draw like whole new worlds or environments and levels and such. So, I mean, just something that they could give us like that would be awesome.
Yeah, to further just so you can go back and continue playing.
Yeah.
And yeah, just can. I mean, it's such
More
a great
stuff.
game. That's I think that's the only game that I can really recall that I bought on the 360 at full price, played all the way through. Actually, I played it all the way, I think, to the very end, and accidentally like jumped on the boat to go to the final part. And
Right.
I messed up. I didn't want to do that because you have to finish everything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't done, and so I like powered off my Xbox, and it corrupted my save.
Oh, okay.
So I had to replay the entire game again. Okay, and of course that time I didn't get on the boat and continue. I made sure I didn't, and I completed the game. So I played it twice. Then it came out on the Xbox One, and I bought it again and played it all the way through again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how amazing and fun that game was.
I've never.
And I'm not
played
one to replay campaigns. Once I'm done, it's like, what's the point of playing it again, right?
Right.
It's typically my point. And nah, man, I'm stoked for this next game. I can't wait for Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I've never played it.
Oh,
I haven't played any of the new Tomb Raiders at all.
You're missing
Ryan,
out.
you've got to go play Tomb
'Cause
Raider.
you've got it, don't you? Because
Well, they are. Yeah, all of them.
is.
All of them have been on Games for Gold.
All
Right.
you need is the one that's. I think this one. I think the definitive edition is free right now, anyways.
Yeah.
It's
Up
either
until the middle of this month. So
the-
Yeah,
just
I got it.
download it, Brun. Download it so that you own it, and then and you got to play this, dude. You will not be disappointed. Same as Mass Effect 3. You need to go play that. you really need to put everything else to the side. Stop with Destiny, okay?
Yeah.
You're missing out on.
I gotta finish
know.
Dishonored. I gotta play Mass Effect 3. I gotta play Rise of the Tomb Raiders. You got Halo coming up.
But you got to play the original Tomb Raider. You won't be disappointed.
No.
You got thumbs up from both Rob. I'll tell you what. How about this? You play Tomb Raider. I will play Dishonored. And I don't even want to play that game.
Oh,
That's
you don't have. You don't have.
That's how confident I am you will like Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I will play something that I have no interest in.
Oh no, you don't have to play a game to make me play one. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Right.
But the one thing about the season pass, you guys are talking about season pass and stuff. Man, they've been they're under a magnifying glass now because of these companies now are kind of ruining what a season pass is. You had Batman ruining it. You have Fallout hasn't really ruined it, I guess, but they're just like, hey, buy our season pass. We don't know what it is yet, but trust us, we have a good track record. It's going to be good. Batman was just like, hey, do our season pass. It's going to be some stuff. We'll let you know what it is later. It's just all these things that these people are just like, hey, go buy our season pass. There's going to be some stuff in it. That's what season passes are now. It's like, hey, go give us money and we're going to make some stuff for it. It's just like...
And for the record, I will buy this as soon as it's available. Right now, it's not available for pre-order on the digital yet. Mm-hmm. But as soon as it is, I'll buy it. I have no intention of buying the season pass because I don't feel that, like you said, you don't know what it is. And especially if the last one was all multiplayer, I don't know what the extension of the single player campaign is yet. You know what? I'll pay an extra few bucks to get it when I know what it is.
Right.
I'm not buying into that anymore.
Yeah.
I've been bitten by the season pass thing, in my opinion, a couple of times.
Destiny, my last season pass was Destiny, and that kind of angered me a little bit because it was like two $20 items, and you and it's just like you saved me $5, and I was just like, really? Because it's like, this is all it is. You did a season pass, and it turns out it's only 2 things. I was like, come on. And then a month or so later, they're like, oh yeah, here comes a massive expansion. It's $40. You're like, well, I shouldn't have bought the season pass. So, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of season passes now. I'd rather just, I don't know. I was listening to a podcast over the week, and they kind of like, don't you miss the time where you just bought a game and you got everything? And I was just like, I kind of do. I do kind of miss that. Or, and the other thing is like, I understand when there's DLC. Let me buy the DLC because all a season passes is it saves you $5. But to me, it's just like they're overpricing things now and saying you're saving $5 when you're still paying the same amount of money. So,
yeah.
But
I don't know. I like this. The idea that I like about the season pass is whether I buy it or not, I know they're at least committing up front to doing at least a year's worth of DLC to a game I'm going to buy. So if I really enjoy it, I know that, hey, in the next year, I'm going to probably be able to come back to this and play some more.
Right.
So at least you have that. But we'll see.
Yeah, the best season pass I ever purchased was Battlefield 4. That season pass there, man, there's so much content you got with Battlefield 4. There's like 5 DLC packs over a year and a half worth of content.
Yeah, but you couldn't play the game for the first year.
Well, for the first 7 months it was broken.
I think it was the last DLC pack that fixed the game, right?
No, that wasn't even a DLC pack. But yeah. So, all right. Last thing here, we actually mentioned this, I think, last week. Because we were talking for Need for Speed, or maybe I was talking with my buddies or whatever, and I was just like, man, I wish we could just have another Burnout game. And but Burnout, those guys are working on the Need for Speed. A story broke out where Burnout spiritual successor is coming from the Criterion founders. So obviously, it sounds like those guys aren't there anymore. Who knows when they left? It could have been forever ago. But
2014. 2014.
They
last
left.
Year.
They left in 2014. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting a new Burnout. Don't you play on me video? Oh, you're gonna play on me. Don't do it. It's
got to be IGN,
it's
right?
Freaking out. Yeah, it's IGN.
You can turn that off. Well,
Nope.
I think
I went and looked, and they got rid of it, so you can't.
They got rid. Oh.
Yeah. Nope.
I do know they updated their video player, and I was wondering if they're going to take it away.
It gives you a countdown. You hit pause, and then it just freaked out on me. So, all right. So, one of you guys that has it open without the video playing. What we see about this? There's no date. I didn't see any dates or anything about it. I just saw that something's coming.
There's no date. In fact, the guys they're actually making a sports game first. So this is way off in the distance. But what they're saying is that they are going to after they finish the game they're working on, which is some kind of sports game, they are going to go. The next one will be a spiritual successor to Burnout, and supposedly I think it was Burnout 3. I think is the one they were. I think it was. I don't think they stated exactly, but I'm trying to remember. I don't want to open the article itself, but yeah, it's not going to be on Burnout Paradise. It's going to be more back when people really loved the game with the crash mode and all that stuff. So it's going to be a spiritual successor to a Burnout prior to Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, because Burnout Paradise all the fun went away. They changed the crash mode. It was just like, oh, you can start up crash mode just by hitting both bumpers. And
that was it's Showtime mode.
Yeah, Showtime.
And it was horrible.
No. It's like, no.
Burnout 3 is called Takedown.
Oh, sorry, guys. Windows 10 message. So if that's the case and there's actually a true crash mode, that I'm pumped, man. I remember the first time, just a couple, last week or the week before, they were talking about like some of our favorite moments or whatever. I'd never even thought about the first crash mode in Burnout. The very first one was, and it was just like I drove down the street and I just hit and it went in that slow motion and just things started exploding and just being like, oh man, it was like all the damage calculated. And I was like, okay, now what do I have to do to get more? And it's like, well, if I go hit this tanker truck first and he explodes and hits this one at the right time, and it's so fun. And even the crash mode on Burnout Crash on iOS is a blast. I love that game. It is so much fun. But
this is the thing is too. It's like this was another game that my wife actually liked. Her and I would sit on the couch, and like one of us would play the crash mode. Mm-hmm. So you go down, you crash, you set your, and I'd hand a controller to her, and she would play it until she beat my score.
Right.
And then she'd hand it back. And we just kept doing that. We kept going, trying to, and it was so much fun. We just had a great time. And it's like, again, my wife is not like, well, she's a big iPad gamer. It's funny because I swear she plays games more than I do now. Because we'll go to bed and she's on that thing for hours. Yeah. I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up a couple hours later and I can see the glowing screen. It's like, go to bed.
Does she have Burnout Crash
on there? No.
Oh man, that's fantastic. It's fun.
But that was one of the things. It was fun, and there's no way she'd ever play Burnout Paradise. This was completely different. It wasn't the same thing. It removed that ability to do something like a couch co-op with someone of just playing that mode. So yeah, the spiritual successor to that would be great, and that's what they're supposedly going after. So
very cool.
But again, way down the road.
Yep. All right.
So we'll tell you more about it in about 5 years when it's announced at E3, 3 years before it comes out.
And then Amazon will deliver it on day one if you buy it.
Yes, they will.
So, all right. Very cool. Well, that's all we had. Now we can hit community. And but before we do that, Cafe Press. Oh no, we got a problem. Nope, there we go. CafePress.com/this Xbox Life is a place where you can go and get all sorts of TXL gear. So from T-shirts to mugs to all sorts of things. I mean, you have to go out to CafePress.com and /this Xbox Life and check it out. And all right, so with our community, we have multiple ways to get a hold of us. Last week or last couple weeks, you've heard voicemails. We love having voicemails because we love putting the listeners and viewers on the show. We didn't have any voicemails this week, but to send a voicemail, go to thisxboxlife.com. Click on send voicemail on the right hand side, follow the prompts, and we will get it and put it in the show. One other way is to email us, and we asked for emails from anybody, but definitely from people overseas over in the UK, I think it is, Europe and the UK, Mark.
That is correct.
And anybody who sent us an email for the show, we were going to enter them into the contest for a such and such pounds of.
It's an Amazon.co.uk gift voucher.
Yep.
So it's not Amazon.com. It's through the UK site.
Okay.
So it's and I don't know how you say this because it's like I would say 27.75 pounds. So like in the US it'd be $27.75, but here it's 27.75 pounds, which is like I did the numbers and it was like over $40 US. So it's a pretty good chunk. Again, we got this because we have people in Europe that are using our affiliate program on the Amazon.co.uk website, and we've now had enough sales that we have gotten this gift card sent to us. And like I said, all this type of stuff, like stuff we did over here for Amazon.com, we used a lot of those proceeds to buy the headsets, the mics, and all that stuff to improve. So for all the European stuff, we're just giving it straight back to you guys.
Yeah.
Because again, it's all gift cards for there, and I'm not buying through that website. So, let me mute.
All right. But for emails, we got a number of them from people over in the UK and stuff. So we are going to go through them, and I think do we want to pick or do we want to verify, like all three? All the people in here are able to use that before we pick a winner, or how do you guys want to do it this time? No preference.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so we'll pick a winner.
I thought they were all from. Weren't they all from?
We had Belgium and Denmark and Europe and.
I know Mojo is. Maliv is.
Okay.
All of them there are eligible today.
Okay, so we'll have Rob do his random number generator, and we'll, based on how I listed them in here, is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 through 5. We'll read them off, and then we'll pick a winner and hand that over to them. Sound good to you guys?
That works.
Sounds good.
All right. So Rob, I'll let you take it away. You have to read them all in English accent.
How about I'll be like an English actor on an American TV series?
Sure, that'll work.
Like Rick Grimes.
Yes. Yeah.
Or like most of the people on Dominion, if you guys have seen that show.
Dude, is that not trippy to watch Walking Dead? Like if you watch the whole first season, you've never seen that actor, and then you hear him in an interview, and all of a sudden you find out he's British.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I mean, the first time I heard him, it tripped me out.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? Because you would never know watching Walking Dead. You'd swear he was born in Alabama.
Yeah.
or Georgia, wherever they were. So,
well, most big actors like that, they are all from there. They all they're all the same way. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of others do that I didn't know. And then you see them in an interview and they're like, good day, Chop. And you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
All right.
Hit it, Rob.
All right. So first up is Psycho Womble. The question is, has there been any, I got to zoom in. My old eyes can't read the small text here. All right. Has there been an achievement that you have deliberately gone out to get and been really satisfied when you have achieved it? Mine would have to be the Mile High Club, the one from Modern Warfare. Very difficult, but very satisfying.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that one's a tough one.
That was tough.
Yeah. I don't know.
What did that involve?
You had to complete the last.
You had to run from the back of the plane to the front of an airplane with terrorists.
Yeah, without dying, killing them all, and doing it in under like
40 seconds or
so many seconds.
And it was just like grenade spam. They would grenade spam. Yeah. I mean, it was hard. It was not easy.
You had to have it memorized. You had to have it memorized from doing it so many times. But yeah, I never got that one. No. I don't know. I like the Hour Defend. That was a cool achievement to get. I went out of my way to get that one.
Yeah, that's the same one I've got. that is still to this day the most satisfying achievement for
Yeah.
me.
I have to complete every Halo game on, the hardest difficulty to get that achievement because I want the emblem with, the skull and the two swords going through it, stuff like that. Because you get that based off playing on the hardest level. So legendary, I think it is.
I'd also say for me, fully getting all 2,000 achievement points in Titanfall, that again, it was all most of it was boosted, but there was just some of those. There's just no way you're gonna get them, and I had a lot of fun, and it was just it was rewarding, in a way, not like the Hour Defend because that we earned, we worked together. This one, boosting does kind of take a little bit out of it, but it's still, I went to Gen 10 level 50. I maxed all my character out, everything, and that was fun, and I just love that game. So that was rewarding too.
It'd have been. I started working on like getting all the orbs in the first Crackdown, but then like couldn't find like one, so I was just like, yeah, all right. So, but yeah. Rob, do you have any? You only have like 100 achievement points, so I mean, what
Yeah,
achievement
something
was
like
it?
that. Half the time, I actually don't even know why I got most of the achievements because they just pop up like, oh, okay, I got that. So I really don't pay a whole lot of attention to them. The latest one that I actually did seek out was driving all of the roads in
Oh yeah,
Forza Horizon 2.
there you go.
Although it only gave like 10,
Yeah,
10 points. So that was kind of a letdown, but it was something that for a long time I was like, I'm really close. There's only a couple of roads here and there that I still need to get. So I figured I'd go for it. But, there is a little bit of strange satisfaction to getting some of those.
what was the last Airbender game? What was that game? The Easy 1000.
Oh, Avatar?
Avatar. I would say anybody that has Avatar definitely went out their way for the achievements in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had to rent it and you knew you were going to play it for 15 seconds. So,
Yeah.
I am a proud non-Avatar achievement
Lies,
holder.
2 minutes.
All 2 minutes.
It wasn't 15 seconds. It was like a whole 2 minutes, man.
All right.
Come on.
All right. Well, thanks for the question. And who's
Yep.
up next?
All right. Next is, let's see. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'll say AirCav Emp. Writes in, hey guys, I just recently discovered your podcast on iTunes, and I must say that I enjoy listening to it. Always downloaded on iTunes and wished I could join you guys when you broadcast on Twitch. Unfortunately, I live in Belgium, and I like how he puts in that's Europe,
Yeah.
in case you don't know.
Thank you.
So with the time difference, it's not possible for me to join in as I'm then fast asleep as I start working at 5 a.m. on Monday morning. Oh, well, I guess it is. It is what it is. No work, no money, no games, and that would suck. I have a question for you guys, something which has been on my mind for some time now. The thing is, I am not really a big fan of all those lately released indie games with the pixel art style. Why do people keep making those? They look like junk and don't really bring something new to the gaming world. Games like The Escapist, Zoltar, or whatever that platform game was with the Barbarian, Super Time Force, and many more. What is it that people like about them? I was born in the 70s, so I was there when the first video games came to be. I can't say that I enjoy them for nostalgia reasons. The Rare Replay game I can somewhat understand, but after buying things like that in the past, the Sega collection, and replaying the old games that got me excited back when I was a kid, well, it just did not do it for me. There are a lot of games now in the Xbox store, but I just can't help myself but wonder what most of those pixel games do or on this generation of consoles. It just seems like a joke to the machines for its power. There are far better looking indie games, yet they do not gather the following of others. I feel I'm rambling on here. So in short, what do you guys think about those pixel art games in this generation's console? Take care, guys, and a big hello from Belgium. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
I'm with him.
Yeah,
I was born in the '70s, and I don't like these games.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of all the pixel ones either.
8-bit, 16-bit.
yeah.
So
I think to
I mean,
some degree that
Minecraft would be the only pixely, blocky looking one that I know is like massive out there in the world. I mean, I don't play it or anything, but you know, that's a huge success. But as far as the other ones, you know, yeah, I'm kind of with him there. I don't see the point. I do like I mean, there are smaller games or indie games that I would play. I've bought plenty of them, but I don't think I've really jumped into any pixel art looking ones. So
yeah, I can appreciate the pixel art to some degree, just because it's kind of neat, especially some of the pixel art that you can find on the internet. And I'm not talking about games. This is just where people do scenes or usually like little towns and such. I mean, that does look kind of neat um, for the art aspect. However, in gaming, and I was actually wondering this, and I mean, it's a very timely that this email came in. I was actually wondering about this last week as I was going through the new releases on the Xbox store, on the Xbox One, and there's just like one after another. And I almost, actually, at the time, I was thinking that doing pixel art is almost like having a cop out from having good artists.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah,
the games nowadays, especially AAA titles, they set the bar so high, so incredibly high. How does an indie dev even compete with like a Tomb Raider? Like, you know, with the new one that's coming out. How do they compete with Halo? You really can't. I mean, you can't have an indie developer put the time and effort and money to compete with something that might have like 300 artists on staff.
I I don't know. I mean, you got games like, well, I guess there's indie games and there's indie developers. I mean, if you're a
Yeah.
massive developer like Epic and you're making a pixel art game, that's one thing. If you're, you know, myself in my garage, you know, I don't have any art, you know, I'm lucky enough my wife, you know, can paint and draw and do all that stuff. Um, but yeah, like what would my outlet be if I made a game? It would have to be pixel art or something like that. But you know, I see indie developers, you know, teams of 2 or 3 make these beautiful looking games. They just don't make, you know, massive characters like that. Like, you know, this War of Mine, or you know, like there's things like that that I think are indie developers, and those games
That's pretty nice.
those are games are great.
Yeah.
You know, um, but yeah, I do agree with him there.
It's it definitely seems to be, I'll say, overused to some degree, and the kind of like, hey, check this game out. It looks cool. You know, it's a newer game and it looks like the older games. I mean, that novelty is wearing off.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think for everybody,
Yeah, it is. I agree with that.
just like zombies.
Yep. Cool.
So, alrighty,
Thanks for the question.
absolutely. So next one is from Mojo Red. I know most of the community has gone all digital, but I'm curious to know if any of you would go back to buying physical discs if they also included codes for a digital copy, similar to what's done with Blu-ray and DVDs.
Unfortunately, they would never go that way because there was a thing called a one-time install that Microsoft was going to have you do for the Xbox One, and people absolutely hated it because you could not trade the game back in. So, I would have to say that that would never happen, because if you wanted to trade the game in, you would have to trade in your unused code with it. Because basically you'd be keeping the game and then trading it in for money, or
Right.
for anything like that. If physical copy games were $20 and digital copy games were $60, like brand new day one, something like that, then I would do it then. But to me, there's no reason to go back. If I don't, because for one, I don't trade in games. That's my thing. I don't trade in games. DLC come out for games. I like to have my games on there, but yep, I would probably never go back to disc. So.
Nor would I. I just went through. I'm packing up, getting ready to move. I had so many 360 games. I actually took some that I actually really, 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 truly love, and I sold every other one of them. Just got rid of them, because and it's like, I love that I don't have a single Xbox One game on a shelf. I don't have to worry about packing those up and moving them. I don't have to. I can easily. Hey, if I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege and Rob says, "Hey, let's play Tomb Raider multiplayer," I can say, "Okay," and I just launch it. I don't have to. And I know I'm fat and lazy, whatever. I get it, but you know what? It's so nice not to have to disc swap. I absolutely love that. There's no way I'd ever want to go back to it. So I just, I wouldn't. I don't even care if the physicals were cheaper. I would pay full price just to keep it digital.
Yeah, and it's.
I mean, and here's an example. Let me give you. I got a perfect example. Rock Band 4 came out. When they first did the pre-orders, I pre-ordered the physical game with the guitar. Then they came out and said, "Oh, now you can buy the game itself and get this legacy adapter included with the game, physical game, for $80." Well, they didn't say that so I started looking it up. Oh, okay, I'm going to need that legacy adapter. It doesn't state that it's in the guitar bundle. Obviously, why would they put it in there? Because you're getting a guitar, right? I guess they don't consider that. You might have other stuff and other people in your house that might want to play in Legacy. But so I canceled that, went with the physical copy, and I got like 35 bonus songs for pre-ordering as well. Then they came out and said, "Hey, we now have a digital copy of the game, and you get 12 pre-order songs." I canceled the physical order and paid for the digital only. And even though I know I'm losing about 23 something songs that I could add for pre-order, well, I'm actually losing all like 35, and I'm getting a different group of 12. So I chose to get less so that I could have it on digital.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I guess, one way I think that's, I want the digital no matter what. So I'm getting less content to go digital, and I'm fine with it.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, for me, I started off initially going, I'd say, the cheaper route and getting some discs on retail where they were, up to almost half off. And then I started buying the games that were on digital, and my problems with having physical copies are mainly two things. Number one, I want to play a game and I can't find the disc. Number two, I'm doing something on my desk, for example, and I find a disc, media side down on the desk. I pick it up and I look at it. It's got scratches on it because it's been sitting there for who knows how long, because I forgot about it there. So my media tends to get ruined and I can't find it. And then all of a sudden, where's the case for this? I found myself going back into that, and it stinks. It's annoying. So ever since then, I think I bought 3 games initially that were all physical copies. One of them I've already bought on digital, and the other 2 I might as well one day, if they become cheap enough in some sale. So I started down that road, and other than the fact of just having stuff on your bookshelf, where you just got that lineup of games like, hey, I've got all these titles. I mean, I wouldn't do it.
We lost your video, Rob. But,
Oh, yay.
Yeah, the one thing about trying to compare it to Blu-rays is that Blu-rays, you can't trade Blu-rays back in. And you can sell them to other people if you want, but and keep the digital copy, I guess. But yeah, you can't trade them into a store for a store to resell them without. So.
Well, they'd be dirt cheap. I mean, you can, these used stores will buy DVDs and Blu-rays and sell them. We got stores around here that do that, but I think the big difference is, the Blu-ray DVD scenario. That's we'll say Sony Pictures, okay? What's it costing for that DVD? 2 cents? I mean, really, it's dirt cheap at this point. Their point, they want to give you both. So they're basically, what they're doing is, you're buying the DVD, they're giving you a Blu-ray copy for free. You get enough of those, then you're going to be like, I should just move to Blu-ray. They're essentially giving it to you in the hopes that you make the move later, that you buy the hardware and stuff. So, and then if you did say, okay, well, I don't need the Blu-ray, and you tried to sell it, if you take it into one of these used stores, you're going to have the case, which means now all you have is your disc, not in a case anymore. Right. So you still have 2 physical copies. So I don't really think that this scenario crosses over well, because, and here, if you did this, if I bought the physical, I put the code in, downloaded the digital version, then I just go to GameStop and say, hey, here's the physical copy, here's the case, I kept the code, but you can sell this. They're going to give me $5 for that disc, and they're going to sell it to someone for $55, or $50, whatever. But then people, the devs won't like it, because someone's going to get a brand new game, never played, for cheaper. It goes against their whole used game thing that they hate. That's why devs want you to go digital, because it gets rid of the used game market.
Right.
Not that I'm a fan of it. I think I like that you should be able to sell your stuff, but I like digital for the reason it is. And for someone like me who doesn't, I only sold all those games off just because I didn't need them. It wasn't to make money. It wasn't to go buy new games. It was just like, man, I don't want to lug all this crud, and I'm not playing on that console anymore. And I'm not a collector, like someone like Democulus. That's the guy that it hurts. He would definitely buy the physical every time. So, because he's a collector, but he doesn't buy all the games to play them. He buys them to collect them and have all that. And that's, those guys, I feel sorry for them, because it's going away. It will.
Well, next, we're getting close on our time, so we're going to have to move forward.
You got to step it up.
Yeah, Rob, come on.
Yep, go.
All right. Next up is from Malev. Hey, guys. So here's my question for the show. How do you think VR will play out over the next couple of years? Will this one day become the de facto way of gaming, or remain a gimmick? Great show and great community. Always fun playing with TXLers, except Canadians. They stink.
Now. Carbide is a good guy.
Yes.
How VR will play out? Well, I think VR is pretty cool with flying and driving games, like I've always stated. But I don't know. I see VR being the next Kinect. That's my thought behind it. So, and I love tech. That's my thing. I love games. I love tech. I love computers and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, you can't do first-person shooters.
Did you read his whole question? I'm sorry. I was responding in the chat, and I just looked. Did you read his entire statement?
What?
Yeah.
You did read the entire statement from Malev?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if Carbide's still around.
Oh, that's what I said. I said, Carbide's a good guy.
It's a Carbide. We were playing all together today and cracking on Carbide for being Canadian. So that's where that comes from. It's all in good fun.
He said they stink instead of what he put on there, but
Yeah.
But I did a radio edit.
And he's got a smiley face after it.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I said, oh, come on. Carbide's a good guy.
Yeah. He was playing with Carbide and Artemis and myself today. So. It's all in good fun.
Yeah, I don't.
Sorry,
I don't.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't see it taking. I mean, as much as I like the tech, like I said, for driving games, and like I could see Rob likes driving games, don't you, Rob?
Oh, I love it.
You know, like games like Elite Dangerous and stuff like that. I could see those, like playing those and flying games, stuff like that. But you know, first-person shooters are a huge genre on console, and I don't see you being able to do first-person shooters with that. So, you know, it's just not going to work that. It's not going to work that way. You shoot wherever your crosshairs are at, not wherever you're looking in a video game. So, you know, that's going to make it hard to do. But
and Carbide is still here.
Yeah. So, all right. What do you guys think about VR?
Gimmick.
Well, it's hard to say which way it's going to go because we have VR like Oculus Rift, for example, and like the old Nintendo Virtual Boy, which is a huge disaster.
Yeah.
So we have that, and then we also have augmented reality, which is what things like the Nintendo 3DS supports to some teeny tiny degree. Cell phones can do it, and of course the latest big HoloLens.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, which way is it going to go? I think things like HoloLens are definitely going to be there. Augmented reality.
Well, that's AR.
That will be more popular, I think. Yeah.
Me too.
So AR will be a lot more popular because it'll probably be more accessible, and it'll be how we interact with technology in the future. This is just my guessing here. VR has a lot of hurdles, and the biggest one is basically, I think that a lot of people just get sick. I don't know how they've handled this recently with like the latest Oculus Rifts and such, but I can speak even with something simple, super simple and straightforward, like Google Cardboard, where you strap your phone in this little cardboard contraption. I was on a roller coaster for just a couple of seconds, and I was nauseous for the next hour.
Yeah.
And I've heard similar things from people that do Oculus. Actually, we've got an Oculus at work. I should see if I can try it one day. But I think it's going to be a huge hurdle. I think it's just a lot of people won't be able to handle full-on VR, you know, being a world replacement versus like a world augment for them. And if they can do something to sort that stuff out, I could see it being used for entertainment purposes. Big time.
Yeah.
VR.
Yeah, VR. Like that's always like VR gimmick. I don't see it lasting. AR, I think's where things are a little more practical because it's like, oh, you want to put on an AR headset. Well, you're still playing on your TV, but you know, maybe a map or anything like that is overlaying in your headset instead of like overlaying on the screen itself. Things like that, you know, where AR will come in. You know, or a 3D model of the map or something like that is, you know, through the glasses but you're still playing on your, you know, playing on the TV instead of VR where you're in the world you're playing in. So, but
oh yeah,
yep. I think they're both gimmicks for one reason. There's one thing different between the two of you and myself. I'm wearing glasses, and there's a lot of people in this world that wear glasses. And one of the hardest things for us to do is to put on a VR or an AR headset. You know, a lot of people, you know, I can probably get away with it depending on the headset. You know, I can go without my glasses. I mean, I can still see without them. It's not as good. But some people just can't. And then you've got to have your glasses. So same with the 3D. That's why I don't think 3D will ever be mainstream. You're still going to see the regular version. And I never go see the 3D because I then I have two pairs of glasses on. You know, it's a gimmick, and when you got that many people in the world that have glasses, and you have to put something on over that, it impedes that. So I think until they can get away from putting on something on your head and having a screen so close to your face, I don't think it's going to be a reality. I think they need to get to something more of like what HoloLens was attempting to do, that Microsoft, you know, more towards the holodeck, which is what we really want, you know, where you don't have to put anything on. The computers in the room do the work. That's to me more realistic than what we currently have. But they need this to get there. So,
All right. Last
Yeah,
question.
all right. All right. So last up is from Kongen, 1973. Hello, just wanted to say thanks for a great show. I've been gaming on the 360 up until now, but I just got an Xbox One for my girlfriend because it was on sale for about half price. So I just want to ask you what 3 games to get for the one that are not on the Xbox 360. Needs to be physical so I can sell it again if it is no good. And because it's way cheaper than digital here in Denmark. Best regards.
So we're gonna say ones that are not on the 360 that are currently out.
3 Xbox One
Physical.
Physical copies. Because I was gonna say,
So, yeah.
wait 2 weeks.
So not like the indie games.
Yeah, wait 2 weeks and get Halo 5. But one's is Diablo 3 on 360? Or was
Well, the
it
first thing I'm going to say is I'm going to tell you a free one. It's not physical, but it's free. See, and that's the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition.
Yeah, get it.
Go grab
now.
it. It's free. You got what, a week and a half? That game, you got to get it. It's free. It's one of the best games you'll play so far on Xbox One. Physical. Sunset Overdrive is fantastic.
Yeah.
Halo 5 is going to be fantastic. If you like Halo, get the Master Chief Collection.
Titanfall.
Titanfall is awesome.
Yeah. Diablo 3. I still say Diablo 3.
Good game.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 2.
I would say Forza Horizon 2 over Forza 6 personally. I think the Horizon games are better. It's a lot of fun.
Actually, wasn't there something on the 360 for Forza Horizon where it wasn't the same? It was different, less effects.
Weather effects or something.
Yeah.
Well, even the Fast and Furious games were actually different from each other.
Yeah.
The DLC for that, they were both a little different. So
one of them couldn't do in cockpit view or something too, or maybe that's a different game. But yeah, so there's a number of games, but definitely wait for Halo coming up. I mean, that's a huge one.
And start with Tomb Raider.
Yeah, and you get Star Wars Battlefront.
Sure.
Yeah, and the new Tomb Raider. So get the free one and then plan to buy the new one later.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Well, while you're doing a generator between 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we had 5 emails. So you get your number real fast, and I'm gonna say, to send us an email, you can send us one at contact@thisxboxlife. Some other ways to get a hold of us is you can hit us up on Twitter, which is twitter.com/thisxboxlife. And make sure to join our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/thisxboxlife. See a reoccurring theme here, this Xbox Life. But before we hit the new video games this week, Rob, do you have a number for us?
Absolutely. I'm going to make this quick because we got to step it up here.
Yep.
The winner is number 1.
So number 1 is...
Who is that?
Psycho Wumble?
Yeah.
And from England. So, congratulations. Message Wingman 709, or he will be messaging you.
If that's his gamer tag, I'm going to look it up right now, and I'll shoot him the code over Xbox.
Yep, you'll be getting the code over.
I think we're down to the minutes here.
Yep. So, all right.
Single minutes.
All right. So, go through this week's releases, Rob.
All right. So this coming week for Xbox One, we've got a couple of titles. We have Ride, Transformers Devastation, Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition, and Elite Dangerous.
All right.
For Xbox 360, we have Transformers Devastation.
All right. I left the games with gold in here for this week. Do you...
Actually, I on purpose left the game out, figuring that I would get a response, but I didn't. So now I'm going to mention it as well. Rock Band 4.
Yeah, Rock Band 4. And then, Games for Gold, I know we did it last week, but seeing that it is just the beginning of October still, you have, what do you have real quick? Just go over those real fast again.
Valiant Hearts through the end of October, so it's all month October. Walking Dead, the complete first season, starts on October 16th, so that's all 5 episodes. 360 has Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. For the first half of the month, second half is Walking Dead, the complete first season. And if you make any online purchases through Amazon, please make sure to use our affiliate link. You can find that on our website. Go to thisxboxlife.com and click on the big Amazon logo on the right-hand side. It'll take you to Amazon. Please do that each and every time that you make your purchase on Amazon. We get a tiny credit for sending traffic their way, and it helps support the show. Also, if you're on iTunes, please do us a favor and give us a rating on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars. Give us a little review if you could. That'll help us get into featured status so more folks can find out about the podcast and the community. And I believe that's it for episode 361.
Cool. All right.
Psycho Womble, reach out to me on Xbox Live, please.
Yep. So.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have.
Reach out to Wingman 709.
Yeah, Wingman 709.
Yeah, one thing I just want to mention real quick. I found this the other day. I don't know if we mentioned it before in the show. Quick. Yeah, absolutely. The Xbox Beta app is out now on the Windows 10 store. It's got a couple, I just noticed it's got like 2-3 extra icons on the left-hand side. I don't know what's extra. But yeah, do a search for it in the Windows 10 store, Xbox Beta. Cool. I think that's where we're going to start with the avatars.
And sorry to Kongan, I was giving out games that were on the 360. I apologize. He said not.
Yeah, I tried to. That's what I was trying to think of ones
that was
that
a tough
aren't
one.
And stuff like that. Yeah,
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah,
yeah.
Halo
that would
5.
Be one. And Halo 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, awesome.
All right.
Mad Max.
Yeah, Mad Max. Yep.
I don't think that came on 360.
No.
So, great game. That's it.
All right. Everybody, we will see you next week. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you then. So I'm Brun, BJ Swick 33.
Rob, also known as Prestar. Thanks for listening, everybody.
We're waiting on Mark.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm sorry. I was muted and I'm responding in the chat. I am Mark, Wingman 709, taking off.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.